Next, I'd like to discuss the James G. King Industry Recognition Award. And this award was created in 2012 and was named in honor of Jim King, a longtime member and board member of both the Alpaca Owners and Breeders Association and Alpaca Registry Incorporated. Jim passed away unexpectedly on April 5th of 2012. And each year when this award is given, the story of Jim's life and his dedication to the alpaca industry is told. Jim was born August 5th, 1935 in San Francisco. He graduated from Phillips Exeter Academy, Yale University, and the Harvard Business School. At Yale, he was an All-American lacrosse player, and he later played for many seasons at the Boston Lacrosse Club. Jim and his family lived in Wellesley, Massachusetts before moving to New London in 1992. He spent most of his career in the Boston area as a financial analyst and portfolio manager, working many years at David L. Babs & Company, and later he worked at New London Trust and Charter Trust. In 1992, Jim and his wife Sue established Skyview Alpacas. Working the farm allowed him to explore one of his passions, a love of animals. He spent a great deal of time helping to grow the fledgling alpaca industry. He also was involved in regional and national alpaca organizations and served on the board of directors of both AOBA and ARI. In retirement, Jim was able to embrace new activities as well as become more active in many areas. His love of singing led to his joining the North County Chordsmen, a barbershop chorus. His love of sports began when he played soccer and lacrosse in prep school and college and coached his sons through many years of soccer, and was rekindled with tennis, paddle tennis, and sailing. Jim was an active member of Rotary, the Boys Club, and the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club. He was also a longtime camper at AMC's 3 Mile Island on Lake Winnipesaukee. At the time of his passing, Jim was serving the alpaca industry as treasurer of Alpaca Registry Incorporated. He was a strong advocate for the alpaca industry and its members, with a goal of having every organization he was involved with maintain the highest level of professionalism and service while continuing to invest in the future of the industry. The James G. King Industry Recognition Award is awarded by the AOA Board of Directors to a person or persons who have given of themselves exceptionally and consistently toward the betterment of the alpaca industry. This year, there are 2 extraordinarily worthy recipients of the James G. King Alpaca Industry Recognition Award. Please hold your applause until the full announcement of each recipient has been read. Diana, if you would read the first one.
Our first recipient of the James G. King Industry Recognition Award goes to a very fine gentleman by the name of Bill Coleman, and what terrific contributions he has made to our industry. In 1997, Bill and his wife Rose began their alpaca journey. And this journey would transition Bill from his engineering career to a busyness of raising alpacas, and he donated hundreds of volunteer time to the organizations that supported the industry, ARI and AOBA. He involved himself in the life of the industry very quickly by teaming up as an event manager for a Western Alpaca show. Bill then moved from that position into a role of serving on the AOBA Judge Training and Certification Committee. This was a brand new committee, and the members played a key role in getting the show system up and running. Bill needed to give up the JTTC work when he became the ARI Board of Directors in 2003 and was elected president in 2004. He served as a president during those critical 2-year history, in which time he hired Gordon Anderson as an interim administrator, and then hired Darby Vanier as permanent executive director, and he led the organization through some very difficult situations. After Bill concluded his tenure on the ARI board, the AOBA board then asked him to return to the JTCC. He served the next 4 years on this committee, being the chair for the final 3. During these years, the committee reorganized the JTC supplement and the training manual. And under Bill's leadership, the team asked the senior judges to give input in the development of a training book. Over a 3-year period, Bill supervised this project and worked to keep the project on task and to see it through to the completion. This AOBA publication became what is now known as the Art and Science of Alpaca Judging. This book is now in the library of alpaca owners all over the world. Bill always has been ready to serve in any capacity needed, and for a brief period filled a role on the AOBA board. He tried to retire in 2010, but came back to the JTCC service in 2012 to serve another year. We want to thank Bill for the industry legacy he has left to us and present him with this James G. King Award as a token of our appreciation for his service and dedication. Please help me welcome Mr. Bill Coleman. Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah.
Here's your award. How about that? Okay. I'll hold it for you.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve such a tremendous organization. One of the hardest things we have, as a family, had to do is to sell our alpacas. That's like selling the kids. Many of you will have to go through this as you get older. We couldn't give them all up. We still co-own a few. And I've really got to thank my wife. When you serve all these volunteer hours, somebody has to take care of the work at home. And to her, I can only say thank you.
So I get the privilege of giving the second James G. King Award this year. The second recipient of the James G. King Industry Recognition Award is Gordon Anderson. Gordon retired from his corporate life, and I would put that in quotes, retired, because he had many retirements so far in his life. In 1993. That fall, he and his wife Carolyn purchased their first Wakaya alpacas and opened Pacific Rim alpacas. Gordon immediately joined Alpaca Fest International, eventually serving on the board of directors. In 1994, he started Weatherstone Consulting Group and began managing on-site projects in Alaska and Washington, including projects for such companies as the Alaska Pipeline and Boeing. In 1997, he took his first steps into the National Alpaca Association realm when he was appointed to fill a vacancy on the AOBA Board of Directors. In 1998, he ran and was successfully elected to the AOBA Board, serving as president for a year and eventually stepping down from the board in 2000 because of a large influx of work in his consulting business. Through 2000 to 2004, he was involved in many areas of the industry, including chairing the ARI Election Committee, chairing a special committee for ARI, assisting in writing ARI policy, event management for Alpaca Western Extravaganza, and serving on the AOBA Judges Training and Certification Committee. As if all of this wasn't enough to make Gordon worthy of this award, this is where it gets really interesting. In July of 2004, Gordon was contacted by our other award winner, Bill Coleman, who was serving as president of ARI at the time, and asked if he would assist in getting the new ARI office up and running. I'm not exactly sure if Gordon knew what he was getting into at the time, or he might not have ever have taken the job. In October of 2004, Gordon arrived in Lincoln, Nebraska, and began setting up the office. He stayed on as administrator until December of 2005. After leaving Lincoln, Gordon was looking forward to retirement once again. He and Carolyn had sold all of their alpacas and were in the process of trying to move to the Oregon coast. However, retirement was just not in the cards yet, as he was called upon again to assist in the industry by serving as the interim executive director of AOBA. I have an interesting story about that. I was actually out at Alpaca Western Extravaganza, and it would have been in February or March of 2006, and he lives nearby, so he drove up and we had lunch, and we were talking about a variety of things. And he had just left the ARI office in December, and he said, "Darby, I have to tell you something. I did something. I'm not sure if I should have done it." And he said, "I'm going to go help AOBA get their office up and running." So that was the start of his journey at the AOBA office as well. He served in that capacity as executive director until January of 2009, when he once again retired. And he was later appointed as a special liaison to the AOBA nominating committee in one of their elections. It's obvious that Gordon loves a challenge and is great at coming up with solutions to problems, whether they are business-related or alpaca-related. One time in 1994, he wanted to participate in Alpaca Fest, but he was not able to get his animals transported to the show in time, so rather than miss the show, he had large photos of several of them printed up at Kinko's and mounted on boards, which he then attached to sticks and stuck in hay bales and arranged in his stall. And he told me that he did get several good sales leads out of that weekend, so he felt like it was ultimately productive. I specifically asked to be the one to present this award because I worked directly with Gordon for about 7 months, and I've worked indirectly with him for a number of years since then. While I can't speak to it directly, I know he made a huge difference during his time as the AOBA executive director. However, I can speak with some authority about his impact to ARI. I truly feel that it's no exaggeration to say that without Gordon, ARI may not have been able to succeed at correcting the problems that were caused by our outsourced vendor in 2004. He truly dealt with a lot of stuff in conjunction with Bill and the board of directors at the time, but he was truly the one in the trenches, as they would say, dealing with that. And I don't think that I would have been nearly as successful at continuing the process without his forethought and guidance. His drive to see the industry succeed has propelled his dedication in everything that he does, from late nights in the ARI office arguing with his printer, which his office was located next to mine, and he had a lot of arguments with his printer, to the long days of overseeing the AOBA National Show when he was at AOBA. Gordon has put his heart and soul into this industry and certainly is worthy of this award. I consider him a friend and a great mentor. Congratulations, Gordon. Come on up.
I want to thank the industry for the award and appreciate this opportunity to be with you once again. It's been a fun run, and I must say I've enjoyed the alpaca lifestyle in the process. I'm very happy that we have a new association. Many of you don't go back far enough, but we tried to do this about 10 years ago and didn't succeed, but I'm happy to say you all managed to pull it off this time. And I hope that it will prove highly successful going forward. And I know Darby will work very hard to bring this about. I want to thank Bill for the opportunity that he gave me. It was a very exciting time and something that's hard to describe. Thank you very much.